Hello, everyone, and welcome to Topic Wonders number 3. I am your host, well, for this podcast anyway, Chameleon Tours, and I'm joined by Mike D.
Hello.
And Connor Farley,
Hello.
and Matrix Lord 212.
What's up?
And today we're here to discuss, amongst many things, the Who Wars. And for those that don't know, I am actually the one of the moderators of the page.
Actually, very, very funny. Hysterical. A lot of things that when you took a jab at me, my girlfriend Sharon loved the Law and Order one with all the different pictures of me on the different faces, and the Real Hoovians Cast Islam video. Hysterical. So, that's something that everybody enjoyed, even if it was jabs at themselves. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was meant to parody and sort of not ridicule, but just sort of poke fun at the sort of, I guess, stupidity of the fact that there's a sort of war going on, and at times it did sort of get out of hand, which we did agree. Some of the things that were posted probably shouldn't have been posted, but I think for most of it, it was just a bit of fun, and yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's back actually, and it's fair. I mean, it doesn't just single out one person. I mean, that's the way it should be. Everybody should be open to, if anybody's been a part of this, real Hoovian tube war nonsense, they should be easy pickings,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Back on.
No, good.
I was just gonna say, what did we want to discuss?
Well, there's been a lot of things going on in the behind the scenes. Let me just say that I don't hate anybody here, and I don't think anybody in my group hate anybody else from the other groups, right? Or am I wrong?
You're wrong. It's
Okay.
One person, it's one person.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Right. Well, okay. That one person that started the whole Hoovian tube war, I'm going to say I dislike the person a lot, but I don't hate that person. And the other one, the monk, I really despise because he's basically been filled with so much hatred, as well as Darth Vader. They've been trying to destroy and make things personal. So I don't like those two. And then the other people that went along with them, Sammy and, Michael, I'm not really no longer crazy about. But we don't hate anybody. I mean, at least I don't hate anybody. Strong dislike for certain people. So the thing is, everybody should be able to do everybody's podcast, okay? Back in the day, it used to be the Hoovian podcast, that old doc got everybody together, okay? And then it was cool. Like, all right, people went off and did their things. Like, Freedom did that one. Sammy created the Harmony one. And then when the Hoovians podcast disbanded, I created the Real Hoovians Cast. Everybody coexisting. But then somewhere along the lines, egos got involved, okay? Where someone had attacked me and took it upon himself to say that everybody should leave my show and go over to the files or whatever, which was craziness. Then we had issues with people trying to control Sammy and whatever, all throughout the years. And then finally, when David, on September 1st last year, made some ridiculously nonsense garbage, everybody saw that as an opportunity to say, to join in. And the topic got off topic, okay? Sammy attacked me, all his followers attacked me. People saw this as an opportunity. Let's just split and fracture the whole community in all these different crazy directions. And then people attacked me out of nowhere. Like, they got Daniel, Monk, out of the woodwork. And next thing you know, me and Michael wasn't friends anymore because he got mad at me because I got mad that Sammy took my channel down and I struck him and whatever. And people all took the side of the hate, which was crazy. A lot of people took the side of the hate. So when the smoke cleared, nobody's talking to anybody anymore. Okay? And dynamic changed because people wanted to do everybody's shows, right? Like, Steven got ripped apart for doing this show when Stephen Price always did our shows. I knew Stephen Price before I even did podcasts. And Monk threatened him or whatever, and then it's like, then he was no longer part of that group, which is ridiculous. Then they're doing underhanded tactics where they're contacting people while I'm at work. Hey, whatever you do, he's a bad man, Matrix. Don't go on the show. And then when I finally talk to people that I don't talk to after a month or two because different things happen, this is what they do 24/7. So now they even created a mole. Okay? They got one of the members that appears on both shows, the one person that appears on both shows, without even nobody really, it's okay with, right? And all of a sudden, I'm seeing this kid talk like crazy on the Whovians, which is fine. And then on my show, it's like, I don't know, this, that, dancing around, whatever. And it's like, why is he acting like that? That's just kind of weird. Why would he come in, then drop out of cast, come in, drop out of cast? So the dirty politics behind it. Everybody could coexist. Everybody could do podcasts. This is not like a dictatorship. Nobody controls the Whovians community. Okay, so grow up. And then they do little digs. They take my show and they put, my everything show and they put the every little. I mean, it's stupid. Create your own show. But this thing goes on and on and on, and of course it deserves to be made fun of, because it's like we're all freaking a bunch of children. So I just want your take on, how easy it is, Chameleon, to just like show how stupid this stuff really is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just internet podcasts, really.
Yeah.
That, it's just made by a small bunch of people, and the fact that there's now this mole. I mean, when I think I was talking to Connor last night, I said to him, I don't know what's sad, the fact that this person's been recording like all the off-air podcasts, or that someone's actually had the time to listen to all the off-air podcasts that he's been recording. Like, it makes no sense to me. And this person as well, like, in the podcasts that I've seen him do with you, he's been really passive and doesn't really say much, and I couldn't really see how he would be against, on the other side of the fence.
Well, it turns out there was a reason behind it, supposedly. Out of the 3,000 and some odd videos that I did, the one video podcast we did with Chris Steampunk, he disagreed with, and he formulated an opinion of me based on one podcast out of almost 1,000. And basically, he says he didn't like the way we treated Steampunk, which is a great friend of Mike D and John, and we're talking to him as a friend, trying to help him out. It got serious, but he's been on every day. So, this is not scripted. This is not fake. I mean, this is real stuff. We don't fake our things. This is no 10 out of 10 nonsense. We tell the truth. So we were trying to talk to him on air, and he's a friend, and he is still on air. So somehow somebody manipulated and brainwashed this kid into thinking I'm a bad person, just like they constantly do. And they, I said, sabotage the show, dance around, look like a fool. And then I noticed how, on his Google Plus page, he says video one, video whatever. He's recorded certain podcasts and just put it on his channel, like me talking to Sammy on one podcast. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, really weird that he's, recording. And then we heard something about him being on one of our podcasts, and he had, the Whovians on the other line or something listening. And that's, like, so stupid. Like, what the hell? Can't you just enjoy doing a podcast? So then he talked to us off air, and he's like, oh, I'm not happy. Nobody's keeping you here. Nobody's forcing you to be on here. You don't want to be on, don't be on here. Nobody said you can't be on both shows, and if you don't want to be on the show, go ahead. But don't do these stupid things with the trying to destroy the show. Don't. And what really did him in was Mongo had said that, hey, he called him out on the air, and he said, off air, he said, you tried to convert me on behalf of the Whovians not to do Joe's show anymore. Why'd you do that? And then it all came out. And then he says, oh, I made fun of Matrix on the Files show. And I said, go, take care, bye for now. And he's getting all looking sinister like it's a joke. And I'm like, dude, I don't care what you do. Whatever. Okay? It's just so stupid. You don't want to be on a show, don't be on a show. I never told you anything. But don't judge me because of one podcast. It's really dumb. So the fact that they went all out of their way to do that was just absurd, basically.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, also, just this past week, we had, like, one of the prominent members of that community allegedly get in touch with someone, or was trying to get in touch with someone in our group to put pressure on Chameleon to take down the Who Wars Facebook page because they got butthurt over something on there.
Oh,
really?
what is it? Yeah. Who's that? We'll say that off air.
That was Michael with Jacob on it.
Oh, he contacted Jacob to do that?
Or at least allegedly, yeah.
See, listen. This is the thing. Everybody loved it when I was getting ripped apart or made fun of, and as long as they didn't get made fun of, it was okay. It was great. It was fantastic. But the moment they get in the spotlight a little bit, they don't like it. They like dishing it out and putting little digs like I'm Pizza Warden or I'm this and I'm all that and keep going and going and going every week. But then the moment something happens, they vanish. What happened? They're all upset. How dare they do that about me? Well, you're an idiot. Who the hell do you think you are? So that's the whole thing. I mean, you know, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen and don't even start the fire if you can't put it out. Basically it. I mean, you know, people want to have fun. People want to be able to, they don't want to be part of this nonsense. And then you got the other guy that's threatening minors and threatening people and threatening their own member. What do you threaten? That kid Matt on Sammy's show? And he got fired, supposedly, from that group. But now they're being nice to him? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know. Anybody want to add anything to that? Or?
Well, the thing that I've seen predominantly over, like, I don't know, like however long this has been going on, 8 months now, 6-8 months, people are very threatened when you have a very large personality and you're very good at defending yourself with facts. And a lot of people, like, they try and take advantage of, like, I guess I would use the term useful idiots who really don't know what the facts are with certain allegations. And I've seen the times where I've taken time to explain to a certain few members that I've talked to the context of what's going on with some of the allegations, and they've completely understood once they've actually heard our side of some things. They completely understood it and put it in a whole new light. But then you have some people that are just, you know, taking the path of least resistance and just being followers and going along with what their masters dictate for them to do. And I've just seen that in your community, you know, speaking for myself, like people who have a lot to say and very large personalities, they're an easy target because these people, like, they try and manipulate their followers and the people in their group by saying, oh, look, that person's being a jerk. You know, like with the Chris Ferner situation, when they don't even have the context to realize, like you said, John and I have known Chris for years, and we're just keeping things real by being on the air. And, you know, we're not scripted. We're not, like, playing politics. We just go out on the air and speak what's on our mind with people. And everyone's got a position where they can feel free to do that. Because I know I wouldn't be on your show if I felt like I was being censored in any way.
Right.
And anyone's free to come on your show and say whatever they want, you know. And I'm free to sit here and defend my position if I happen to be under the microscope of scrutiny. But you just see a lot of, like, real underhanded, manipulative sorts of behavior, and, you know, it's kind of like it's really pretty sad.
You want anything, Connor?
Yeah, like, I know that last Sunday, it must have been now, I made my thoughts about a particular member of the other camp pretty clear. And yes, he's gone now, allegedly. He possible he could come back. You know, Darth Hater. But in terms of all the others, forgetting him, I have a problem with one. I'm developing a problem with another person. I'm disappointed in the mole because I did used to talk to him off air, quite an awful lot actually, and when I discovered, because it was actually me and Mike, I think, that originally kind of got the idea that there was something underhanded going on in regards to the other camp and this mole. And we told you about it, Joe.
And I don't want to believe it because, you know, I thought he's a good kid. He's this. Known him for like probably about a year, you know. And then, you know what, that's what happens. I mean, you let your guard down. You have this belief that you just don't want to see. But then, you know what, I opened up and I says, you know what, let me look about it a different way. You know, and then I went on his Google Plus page and I'm like, oh, wow, he's been recording me since day one with different things. And, you know, maybe at some point in time he was okay. But then when this war started, you know, they tried to take advantage of people, which is really disgusting, actually. And it's the fact that, you know, even my good old friend Sammy, I mean, honestly, I have no hatred towards the man, but I do feel that they, you know, control him and they get him to do things that they want done. Like, they don't want anybody to see that podcast that David had attacked the kid. So, you know, that's not cool, man. And then you try to think, okay, well, you know, who's on whose side here? I mean, you know, he was fired, Mr. Darth Hater, and that's the way it should have been. But he should have been fired a while ago when he attacked minors, when he attacked women, when he attacked, you know, how do you allow this behavior? I mean, the leader's got to step up and say, hey, this is our group. We're not going to tolerate that. You're out. But they didn't. They enabled his behavior. And when they couldn't control him and he attacked one of their own within the group, then they fired him. But now it's like, how do you fire somebody, but then you're talking nice to them? It's like, what are you doing? Like, I mean, you can't just punish somebody, but then take back the punishment. You got to, like, you know, and what about the kid that got attacked? I mean, that's not cool, man. It's not cool at all. So, I mean, is it because he's best friends with your editor? I mean, that's another thing, amongst the editor. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that anymore. What about you, Chameleon?
Yeah, in regards to Darth Hader, he's always sort of been a very hostile person. I've noticed he always lashes out at members of the community. I was, of course, one of the targets of him during mid last year, I think. That was when I first left the community. And yeah, he's just a very aggressive person and doesn't really understand the context before he lashes out. Yeah, I was very sort of amused to hear that he was fired, and now I don't understand why they would bring him back. I mean, at least he should apologize or something beforehand.
You know, what's funny is before I was even around, and when there was the era before me, which would be, and before everyone, the era where it was Scribe and Aspersion and TARDIS Reviews and Ryan, the P guy, and there was Brickby Kev and a whole bunch of other people. You know, he was there, David, and he started a war with people. He started a war that it seemed to me, from me just watching it, he lost every time he started something. And then I would see apology podcasts with the people he started with, and it's like, dude, why are you attacking your friends? You know, why are you trying to take a swig at your friends? You know, like, is it to make a name for yourself? You know, and then I respected him because, you know, these people came before me. You know, so when I did my shows, I brought them on my show. I had respect, like almost like, you know, I mean, these guys were here before me. You know. And I always showed him the utmost respect. I was always trying to be a friend to him. I tried to, you know, and it's just, I don't understand the backstabbing of it. Even when you guys were taking a go at each other, because he was part of my group, I was trying to defend him, even though, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you and I still have our differences, but the thing is he just attacks everybody. even his own friends. It's like, what are you doing? Like, whose side are you on? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make yourself be the only person on YouTube talking about Doctor Who? Or, I mean, I don't understand it. It's like, and then the people have the arrogance. They're like, oh well, we're the whole Whovian community, and after what you did, I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I'm kicked out of the community. I doubt it. And you're not even the community. People have the arrogance that they're the Whovian community. Well, if you, the one thing is about the views. You know, people are like, oh, we have great views. We have great views. If you do some research on that, which I have, yeah, anybody could create like 100 channels and like themselves. But who's really watching that video? You times 100. And who else? Like 18 people? Like, so does it benefit you that you like your own stuff and you make it appear that you have hundreds of followers? And no, it doesn't really benefit you. I mean, it looks good on paper, but it's not reality. So I've seen that, all these troll accounts that are liking just the Whovians. It's amazing. I mean, there's one Brady Bunch house, there's, you know, Rambo, there's Howard the Duck, there's all these stupid things that are not real people. And it's like, you know, why can't you just be genuine and see what the actual views are? Or, you know, there's too much time on people's hands, I think. You know, and it's gone to their head, let me tell you. Because the speech that they gave the mole was a speech that I heard from Michael. And he's like, oh, you know, you should leave YouTube. And I'm like, really, Mr. Mole? I should leave YouTube. Why is it so important for me to leave YouTube? I'm nobody. Obviously, I'm a threat to somebody. So why do they want me to leave YouTube? Oh, you treat it like a second job. This is verbatim from what I heard, like, when the war started. You know, and then it's like, you know, you've changed. You're so mean. You've changed. That was from something I heard from a former female member of them. So it's just, it makes me sick that people are trying so hard to want me to leave. It wouldn't even matter if I left. I'm not anybody special. I like to do shows. And when people try to, like, force you to leave, you want to stay even more. I don't know. I think, Chameleon, I mean, this is just nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid that they try and get you to leave. I mean, it's not, they're not the, you know, the moderators of YouTube that can dictate that. It's, you know, equal ground for everyone. And, yeah, it's very, the arrogance of some of these people is very, very,
I think it's gone to their head, honestly. Yeah. I think they have some serious psychological issues.
And with the whole, the dislikes and the views as well that, you know, they manipulate, because it's always quite funny, like, there's always dislikes on your videos, and then you go and check their channel, and they have, like, 100 likes and 10 views or something. So
and you notice how they don't have any dislikes?
Yeah.
Like, that means that, I even watch this stuff, I don't dislike them, because I'm not a jerk. You know? Maybe there was one or two that I really didn't like, and I disliked it. But do I create, like, 1 million troll accounts and dislike them 100 times? No. So it's just stupid. I mean, every time I would upload a video, we'd have like 12 dislikes, less than a minute. Or in one case, 105, I think, was dislikes or something like that.
Yeah, it's silly. And the whole thing is, in regards to YouTube, dislikes and likes and views don't actually matter that much. It's all about something called audience retention, which is what percentage of the video the viewer actually watches, and that determines whether it's recommended or, you know, it appears in a whatever subscribers recommended box. So the fact that they, you know, have all these accounts and like these videos, it just kind of doesn't actually do anything for their accounts, and they're just wasting time in the first place.
Right. I mean, you got to think reality-wise. If you did look at it from a marketing perspective, would you watch 2 hours of me, or would you go watch 2 hours of a movie? Obviously, you would go watch a movie. So sometimes if you have podcasts that are like hours and hours and hours, nobody's going to watch that. And if they do, maybe they'll watch it throughout the week, or maybe not even. You know, my channel used to do really well when I used to do like 2-minute videos or 4-minute videos, which I don't really do that much anymore. And that's when my channel grew back then. But I do podcasts now, and sometimes I don't have it too long. I don't have it like hours, like 3-4 hours. Once in a while, we'll have like an hour or two. But again, YouTube is so big, everybody can make videos, and the focus should be on, why we create all these channels. I mean, Doctor Who, I love Doctor Who. Everybody should have a voice about Doctor Who, and do their own videos and do their own podcasts, and I love it. And I actually, the reason why I want everyone to do their own videos about Doctor Who, and I want people to do their own podcasts, is because I remember a time when Doctor Who got canceled. And my belief is the more people, the merrier. So maybe they can solidify that Doctor Who continues for a long, long time.
Yeah, Doctor Who should be something that we all enjoy, not something that, this small podcast community just, sort of circle jerks around.
Yeah. I would look forward, dude, for you to do your own podcast shows on Doctor Who, being that you know so much about it. It would be nice if you could, actually.
I did podcasts ages ago, but then I stopped because I just sort of didn't like the format, and I started doing blog posts instead.
Right.
Which I still do. But no, I was saying to you, when the new series of Series 9 of Doctor Who starts, I'll probably join you guys for discussions, because I think that could be quite fun.
You're always welcome. Very good. Connor? Anything? I think the overall message is that everybody should just have fun, do your podcast. Stop trying to take jabs at people. Stop trying to take jabs at, stop trying to create moles. It's not really that serious. These little games.
It's not the Cold War. I don't think we need to.
Stupid. You don't like my face, don't dislike it, don't watch it. Don't see what's Matrix Lord up to. If you don't like me, don't see me. Don't watch me. But obviously you do, because you watch me all the time. You're going to sit there. Just imagine, right? I like going out, having a good time on the weekend, right? Someone's sitting there. Dislike, going to the next channel. Dislike, go to how long does that take? 105. 105. Before I even monetize the friggin' thing, like, someone's watching it, like, not even a half hour after it's up, 105 dislikes. You spent the whole half hour doing that? Like, why? And it's the same thing with the person that spent the whole day that time, right? God bless you, man, going to 1,000-something of my videos. Dislike, dislike, dislike. That's like, wouldn't you rather play World of Warcraft? Because back in the day, that was a thing. Or something. Build up a character or something. I mean, you're all day long, you're like disliking my videos that time. It was pathetic. Someone even made a dedication video about that, where they had the Daleks. They made it like the Daleks were, I think it was gorillas. They made the Daleks that they were the dislike fairies or whatever. It's pretty funny, but like, just go do your shows. Have a good time, man. Don't be a hater. That's the whole point. And just, learn to laugh at yourself sometimes. You spotlight of a Facebook page is making fun of this situation. Just enjoy it. Because you got to laugh off of other people's pictures. So that's it. Anything, Mike T?
I was just going to say, Phil contacted me, was wanting to know if we were going to be doing a cast about Who or something after this. I think he wants to join in.
I promised, I think we're going to do, let me see who's up. All right, we'll talk about it off here. We'll see. All right, okay. Connor, anything? I don't know if Connor fell asleep. Uh-oh. All right, you want to close it out, Chameleon?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to check out the Who Wars page, of course, you can look it up on Facebook. And everyone's free to contribute, as long as it's not too hostile, because it is, of course, at the end of the day, just, basic satire. And yeah, I guess take care, bye for now.